Good day, everyone. We are Group 6. My name is Walajoy F. Arceo.
I am Monica Joy Marpuri.
And I am Novshane Aberde.
And we are here to present the Part 3 and 4 of Accounting for Derivatives and Hedging Transactions.
So, ang pag-uusapan naman natin ngayon is about sa future contract. So, sabi dito sa libro, yung future contract, similar siya sa forward contract. Ang difference lang, yung forward contract, private lang siya, then yung future contract naman is traded sa market. Parang may market kung saan pwede kang mag-trade ng future contracts. So, punta tayo dito ngayon sa illustration 1, hedging designation. Ang sabi dito, si ABC Co. on December 1, 20X1, nag-enter sila sa silver future contract na bibili sila ng 1,000 ounces ng silver on February 1, 20X1 for 200 per ounce. Pero kailangan nila magbayad ng initial margin deposit na 20,000. Etong deposit, isasama lang siya sa deposit with future broker sa books and not considered as a derivative. So, on December 31, 20X1, bumaba naman yung presyo ng silver to 190 per ounce. So, magkakaroon sila ng loss kasi hindi na nila mabibili at 200 per ounce like they planned. Ang loss nila ay 10,000 kasi nagbago yung presyo ng silver by 10 from 200 to 190 pesos. Tapos, since 1,000 ounces ang pinabili nila, nagkaroon sila ng loss na 10,000. Now, on February 1, 20X1, bumaba palalo yung presyo to 185 per ounce. So, dagdag pa yun sa loss nila. Kaya, kailangan nila bayaran yung net loss na 15,000. So, ano nga ba yung entry dito? Entry sa future contract on December 1, debit deposit with broker 20,000 and credit cash 20,000 kasi yun yung initial deposit nila sa broker, yung debit natin. And then December 31, 20X1 naman, loss on future contract na 10,000 debit and credit na future contract liability kasi dahil ngayon sa bumaba yung presyo nila. So, yung entry naman sa February 1, 20X2, future contract, debit, 10,000. And then, debit ulit na loss on future contract, 5,000. Yung 5,000 na yun is in-squeeze lang or nakuha rin siya sa 185 minus 190 is equal to 5 times 1,000 is equal to 5,000. And then, cash naman na credit na 15,000. Kaya nakuha yung 15,000 kasi 185 minus 200 is equal to 15,000 times 1,000 is equal to 15,000. So, next naman tayo, illustration 2, fair value, hedge of a recognized asset, gold inventory. So, ang sabi naman dito, on December 1, 20X1, si ABC Co. may inventory siya ng 100 troy ounces of gold. So, value per ounce niya, 12,000. Total inventory, 1,200,000. So, para ma-protect yung value ng inventory niya, kasi syempre baka bumaba yung presyo, pumasok siya sa isang short future contracts para ibenta yung gold sa February 1, 20X1 at 12,100 per ounce. So, nag-deposit din siya ng 96,000 sa broker, margin deposit. And then, ang entry naman natin ngayon is, syempre, debit deposit with broker, 96,000. And then cash, 96,000. Ayun yung credit natin. So, wala pang adjustment sa inventory or future contract kasi kaka-start pa lang nung hedge natin. And then, next naman, entry naman sa inventory. Debit inventory na 25,000, unrealized gain, profit or loss na 25,000. Kaya nakuha yung 25,000 kasi 12,250 minus 12,000 times 100. So, is equal 25,000. Entry naman para sa future contract. Debit loss on future contract, 20,000. Credit future contract liability, 20,000. Kaya nakuha yung 20,000 kasi 12,300 minus 12,100 times 100. Kaya nakuha yung 20,000 na loss. Then, dito naman sa February 1, 20x1, debit, unrealized loss, profit or loss, 45,000. Credit inventory, 45,000. So, bumaba yung spot price sa 11,800. Kaya nagkaroon ng adjustments. So, kaya nakuha naman yung 45,000 na yon dahil 12,250 minus 11,800 times 100. Kaya nakuha yung 45,000. And then, yung entry naman sa future contract, February 1, debit cash, 30,000. Future contract liability, debit ulit, 20,000. And then, gain on future contract, in-squeeze lang siya from cash plus future contract na 50,000. So, kaya nakuha yung 30,000 na cash kasi 11,800 minus 12,100 is equal to 300. And then, i-multiply natin siya sa 100, kaya nakuha yung 30,000. And then, dito naman sa cost of goods sold, meron tayo ditong in-entry sa inventory. So, debit cash, 1,180,000. Credit sales, 1,180,000. So, kaya nakuha yung 1,180,000 nila is 11,800 spot price times 100. And then, cost of goods sold naman, debit, 1,180,000. Credit, inventory na 1,180,000 ulit. So, kaya nakuha naman yung 1,180,000 is 1,200,000 plus 25,000 less 45,000. Ayun, yung total niya is 1,180,000. So, next naman is debit cash na 96,000, credit deposit with broker 96,000. So, sabi dito, hedge item, yung inventory, kahit na normal inventory is measured at cost or net realizable value, dahil fair value hedge to, kailangan i-adjust pa rin natin yung inventory based sa spot price. Then, hedging instrument sa future contract naman, short position si ABC ko. So, pag tumaas yung price, loss nila yung sa future contract. Then, kabaliktaran naman, pag bumaba sa price, magiging gain naman sila. Then, cash settlement, nagkaroon ng 30,000 gain sa future contract plus reversion ng deposit na 96,000. Kaya, nakuha yung cash na 126,000. And then, total net effect, yung total cash na na-receive from sales plus gain sa future equal sa parang pre-agreed selling nila or sa selling price na pinag-agreean nila na 12,100 multiplied sa 100 ounces. Kaya nakuha yung 1,210,000. So, parang walang nalugi sa price drop kasi protected sila sa futures. And then, next naman is sa illustration 3. Same lang sila sa concept ng illustration 2 kasi both involved fair value hedging ng mga recognized assets, inventory, but they're different lang in the specific asset being hedged kasi kanina sa illustration 2, ang binibenta is yung gold. And then, sa illustration 3 lang naman is yung soybeans. So, ayun lang yung pinagkaiba nila. So, punta tayo sa illustration 4. Fair value hedge, firm sale commitment present value. So, dito naman, si ABC ko, meron siyang commitment na magbenta ng red Nara wood sa customer niya. 1,000 board feet yung binibenta niya. And nakakommit siya na 15 per board foot. So, delivery is on April 1, 20x1. Gusto niyang mag-hedge kasi feeling niya tataas yung presyo ng wood. Kaya nag-purchase siya ng long contract na fixed price 15 board foot. So, initial margin deposit sa future contract is 2,000. So, hindi currency risk yung hini-hedge nila dito, kundi yung price risk. Kasi kung tataas yung presyo at 15 yung presyo niya sa firm sale commitment, parang hindi siya ganun kaganda. So, parang matitake advantage yung pagtaas ng price, kaya nag-enter siya sa future contract. So, in short, gusto ni ABC ko na kung tumaas man yung presyo, ma-offset nung future contract yung pagtaas ng cash flow nila. So, sa entry naman, entry on October 1, 20x1, no entry pa. Kasi contract pa lang siya, wala pang changes. Then, same with the future contract, wala pa naman changes sa future contract nila. And then, nung entry sa December 31, debit firm commitment asset na 2,000. Yun yung difference between 15 price at tsaka yung 13 market price ngayon. Multiply natin siya sa 1,000 board feet. So, may asset siya na 2,000 dahil expected na magbenta siya ng mas mura. And then, sa future contract, debit loss on future contract na 2,000 and then future contract liability na credit 2,000 din. Then, nung April 1, so, debit cash na 15,000. Kaya nakuha to is 15,000 board feet times natin siya sa 15 committed price. And then, debit ulit na loss on firm commitment na 1,500. So, kaya nakuha yung 1,500 kasi yung spot price ay 14.50. Tapos, yung committed price niya ay 15. And then, credit natin yung firm commitment na asset na 2,000. And then, sa sales naman, credit ulit, 14,500. Kaya nakuha yon kasi 1,000, multiplied natin siya sa 14.50 spot. And then, sa future contract naman, debit future contract liability na 2,000. Credit cash 500 kasi ang future price ay 15. Tapos ang spot price sa April 1, 20x1 ay 14.50. So may 500 payment siya sa future contract. And then credit ulit natin yung gain on future contract na 1,500. Nakabawi yung future contract sa loss sa firm sale commitment. And then, nung April 1, 20x2 ulit, na debit cash na 2,000, ayun yung initial deposit, and then